1-1. Good luck, have fun. Dutch Esports Fighting, says Wish. He's, of course, the admin that's been adminning today. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map. Having lost that last game, it's now tied up 1-1. It's Carnage Esports Green Protoss, StrenTurn.
In the bottom right, as the yellow Terran, it's Inzane.
Yeah, I meant to say, sorry, he won that last game, not lost that last game. Because if StrenTurn had lost that last game, this would all be over, and this map would not be happening.
Right. Yeah, because it's the first one we've had, first third map, and I think the first time we've seen Cactus Valley.
No, we had Cactus Valley earlier, didn't we? I feel like we have danced once already today, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, yes, we did. We did. Don't remember when, but we did.
So I think I see.
Oh,
like,
it's on the Terran. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of see why, like, Inzane's gonna be. I hope he's not exactly on tilt after that last game. We already know that there was no love for the way he was gonna approach this matchup in the first place. You know, TVZ, bit of a stigma, whatever. But I was a little bit. He had good control, he had good unit compositions of the first part of the game, at least. I'm a little surprised he let that slip through his hands like that.
Yeah. It's, I guess it's something that every Terran has experienced once in their life, where they just barely went out in a fight, or they lose out in the fight, and they think that production's going to cover them, but Protoss Gateway production beats them out. It's like, especially once you're on top of their production, you know, if they're warping in 15 zealots back at home and they barely fend you off, well then okay, fine, that makes sense. But if they warp in 15 zealots in your base, or right next to your base, and you don't get the same thing, then it can feel a little disappointing, to say the least. But they'll win out. They'll win out every time against Marines that are coming in piece by piece, or Marauders, as the case last game. I do think that if he had just used every single one of his buildings immediately, he might have been okay. And of course had gas, you know, like imagine if it wasn't just Marauders popping out, but a bunch of Marines too from the reactors, and Widow Mine every once in a while, as well as 1 or 2 medevacs. I think he just barely hold on in that sense, but he was running low on cash, he was running low on gas,
Well,
and he was getting pinned back on his own base.
Oh, that's classic Terran, though, right? Like, after you're on 3 bases, you almost never take another gas. You never need it most of the time. So, I don't know. It's on one hand, it's, like, almost understandable they didn't have gas at the gold base. But on the other, that was ultimately, like, going to be the downfall.
Yeah, it was totally understandable. Like, a gold base for a Terran just sounds like it shouldn't have gas, you know? Like, when you say it. Like, why bother getting... Yeah, you have a gold base, you have mules. But it's absolutely part of the reason why he died, because his third was not mining at all, and that had the gases. So, that's just... that's something that hopefully doesn't tilt you in the next game. In fact, if anything, hopefully it just means that, like, I just don't let that same exact scenario where I barely get pinned down on my own base. As long as that doesn't happen, I got a shot. But then again, that fight that went so perfectly for Inzane at the 4th base, that kind of fight happens like once every 1,000 games for a Terran player. Usually the EMPs miss all the ER cons, or they miss all the storms. They usually never get all of them, and the ghosts rarely ever survive afterwards too.
You know, I can't imagine we're going to see StrenTurn. Well, never mind.
Go for a Dark Shrine?
No, I was going to say, like, fall susceptible to the same tricks, but that was going to lead to another conversation entirely about the way the game played out. But because he's going for a Dark Shrine, this changes everything. And unfortunately, the scan misses. And Inzane, without a Reaper, not going to get back there to check. Not going to see his Dark Shrine coming. And the worst part is this being paired up with a Robo. Ooh.
Oh,
now,
War Prism drops. Ugh, God.
Yeah, so I mean, I imagine it's an Observer first, because you're worried more about Widow Mine drops. But like, if he does go straight to War Prism, that's going to be the fastest possible way to get us over to the map. Seem faster than walking, because they'll just be able to go from point A to point B. Might just put a pylon down, though, over here. Wouldn't be bad. Yo, wearing suspenders feels funny. Like, not like good or bad, it's just like...
Good funny?
It's like someone's slightly leaning on you.
Oh,
like,
okay. Maybe you wear them when you're lonely.
That's when you start getting those what the crazy people jackets, the straight jackets or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Give
Hug
yourself, yeah, forever.
Inzane did bother to get a missile turret in his natural, I guess because he really couldn't figure out what was going on. So one part of his base is detected, and that's where the warp zone usually comes in, because it's usually the one of the bunkers.
Okay, he sees the shimmer, by the way. He moves all the Marines to go protect
reaction.
it. I guess the irony is, though, that if you move all your Marines to protect the other one... Oh, there's some here.
Just barely.
Oh,
honestly, if the Marines...
Those came from the bunker, actually.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. If the Marines were able to be hit by the DT, and without stim and combat shields, they would probably die. It's just one DT. Marines get one shot, of course, so... It can be a little depressing losing that way, but he defends flawlessly, really. I mean, takes almost no damage from DTs, and... now is, pretty perfect defense against them. Of course, it's always going to be back in your mind as you go into the mid and late game, though, that they already have a Dark Shrine, so you always have to expect it.
And you have to expect it for the rest of the game, and that's the worst part, because right now, it's fresh, it's new, it's easy in his mind. He's not thinking of anything else. But when Colossus start coming into play, and you're dancing around the Medivacs and Vikings, maybe you don't hear that swipe, in the army, the Zealots plus the DTs. And that's always the worst feeling, too. When you go for the drops, and you're like, oh, I got this. I cleaned up those Zealots. Look away for a second, come back, and half your drop's gone because, oh, there's a DT and you didn't scan for it. Like, that's killer is what that is. But we do have Inzane starting to move out a little bit. I know this is without the accompaniment of Medivacs. This is a little bit bold, in my opinion. Anything he runs into, he has got to kind of dig down and fight or stim to run away.
Where are those Medivacs? They're coming over now. They're being boosted over now. He really wants them. I was going to say, with Medivacs, he could probably snipe the third, as there's only about halfway done. But without them, it's going to give StrenTurn just enough time to have the Colossus in position, as well as Blink finished up. Well, he's going to try it anyways. Yeah, just backs off. Barely has any damage to it. DT was a little wasted.
I always love how when Marines get combat shields, it just kind of looks like it. Oh, whoa. Nice run by here to the natural.
Just a little walk by, man. No big deal. It's quite a few probes.
Yeah, this is not a small amount. About 12.
Dang.
I was gonna say that I love how Marines, when they get their combat shields, it kind of looks like Reboot when Bob would use glitch and be like power shield, and it just kind of comes out of their arms. Like.
Oh yeah, it does. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe they have a little, like, shield maker, but the shield's not quite ready. The technology isn't quite there. And then 10 years later, they receive it.
Yo, here's a design question, right? Why do no games have any characters or units that have, like 2 shields? Oh, what?
I don't think it's a design thing.
What?
He lifted us.
Okay, make sure it wasn't all of them. Does he not realize? Oh, Jesus. That sucks. So that's a lot of lost mining.
And because, like, what would they do with 2 shields?
You could, like, put blades on the edge of the shields.
And throw them?
Well, no, maybe Captain America style. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, you could totally decapitate somebody with a shield. Big attack. I mean, taking out the Colossus is huge. Anything else he gets after is icing on the cake.
He's gonna take out a lot of things, like Charge isn't ready. He warps in Stalkers, in fact, because at least they have Blink.
But everything's almost
heal up
dead.
A little bit. Yeah, heal up a little bit, and maybe you can do something. The one shot on the Marauders is gonna save StrenTurn's game here.
Yeah, if these weren't so heavily stimmed, this would have been a very different looking follow-up. Yeah. A couple Woodwinds in the main. One's got 6 kills, the other's got 6 kills.
Oh, hey, Colossus just coming over here.
Colossus, please.
Executed everything.
Still go with DTs, trying to make the best of it. It looks like the Woodwinds will not get to rearm.
Yeah, okay, DT was waiting for that harassment at the third base. Needs to put a bunker along with the missile turret to make sure that never happens again. That will just wreck your day. You'll think you're winning, and you look back, and you notice that your natural and third are all at SCVs, because you didn't leave anything behind with the detection. Very disappointing. The upgrades have never started for Inzane. They only start recently, but it's at least a double forge, so if you just put a couple chronos into it, he'll be back up to Inzane's upgrades. But having reset the Colossus count, having taken a bit of probe damage throughout the entire game.
That scan,
Oh,
really
worried.
nothing to guard that Colossus. Just dives right in for it, snipes it immediately. Mother Trip Core also going to go down. There's no photon overcharge to worry about. Worst case scenario, maybe some DTs get snuck in. In fact, one DT does get snuck in, but he sees it immediately. Stims, takes it out. A lot of these units starting to get overstimmed. Same problem as before, though. That's Medevac's not doing a lot of healing.
Yeah, where are the medevacs in this game? Are they just not being built? Are they being lost or transfer? Or are they just really big set of that one?
No. It was what killed him last game, so I certainly hope it's not going to be the same problem again.
They just haven't been being built consistently for whatever reason. He's only lost 2 and only has 1. It shouldn't be the case. Well, if that's the reason he's unable to win here, that's gonna be quite disappointing. I mean, the good news is that he isn't gonna be able to win, but at least the Colossus count is continuously being reset, so this late Viking thing isn't hurting him.
You know, I just realized chat hasn't come up with this one yet, so beat chat to it, which is nice. Hellbats totally have 2 shields, but they're more like giant fists than shields, I think.
I suppose. Attacking on 2 sides does get the Colossus again. Wouldn't mind kind of when they get Marines and Zealots, so trade is
You
even.
still got more of them though. That's the problem. So, scan.
Just so neat.
Oh, gets the observer with the
wouldn't
scan.
mind.
That was huge.
Inzane he's constantly getting Colossus, so these fights are never really all that bad. But every single time I have the feeling that he thinks he's gonna win.
Yeah, it's we see this common problem where they think, okay, I'm so close to victory, let's push it, and it's the opposite of like, I feel like we criticize players for like the extreme lefts and the extreme rights, but that's the point. Like, if you are on the extreme left, there's openings and weaknesses and things, but by trying too hard to end it early, it's actually giving StrenTurn a chance to come back in the game. Whereas if maybe Inzane just bulks up and doesn't wait too long, but just that right amount of time, comes in and gets that one big fell swoop killing blow.
Yeah. Whoops. The upgrades are finishing up here, 2-1-1, but he's getting a 4th command center. He doesn't have a high Viking count. There's no way he's going to pull SCVs into this, despite the armies being so close to, so small for each of them.
Yeah, I'm going to take Shieldception one step further.
Okay.
What if you've got 2 shields, like a Hellbat, but then you also have Protoss shielding, so the shields?
So, there is a unit that has 2 shields.
Yeah, but it doesn't use the shields. Like, Hellbats aren't tanky because of their shields.
But how are you supposed to use shields offensively?
You shield bash, or like I said, you like blade the edges.
But you can
of
only
them.
do that with like 1, Like, what are you gonna do? Like, continuously shield bash them, like punching with shields?
Dude, I'm saying like you take the edge of the shield and you can thrust it forward.
I feel like a big old spike in the middle of it, like around it, but it's like in the middle.
What? I feel like you think shields only have 1 dimension to them.
That's what I mean. Like, but it's in the middle, so it's like jutting out.
Does this most of the bio? Gets one of the Colossus for it.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a fair trade for the bio. Honestly, like 1 Colossus for all of those Mirages.
No, it's not. I mean, he's taking worse and worse engagements as the game goes on. He's even allowed StrenTurn to get a 4th up at this point. It's sad to see him flounder like this, but at the same time, it's what can he really do? I do like the addition of the Widow Mines. The medevacs were problematic last game, but so were a lack of Widow Mines, so the charge lots were just doing a little too much. But I think...
the problem with Widow Mines is that the farther you go along, the harder it is to micro them.
Exactly. Not to mention they're not exactly the most durable units in the game to be relied upon.
If you get enough of them in a line, though, you certainly will scare the Protoss player, almost similar to missile turrets.
Yeah, you should just kite back to the Widow Mines. Ends up canceling an Exodus at the last second. Nice moves out of StrenTurn. Shout out to Rotate Owls, by the way, for the 18-month resub. Thank you for coming back, my friend. Thank you for staying awesome for so damn long.
So Inzane had 1-1 upgrades finished by the time StrenTurn started his own, and now it's 2-2 for StrenTurn, and only 2-1, or almost 2-2 for Inzane.
Oh,
that's what happens. There's still no bunker here.
There should have been a bunker here long ago. It's really unfortunate. Drop goes off of the main. Depowers for the gateways. Nice.
Oh, this is a perfect spot for a drop.
Doesn't just depower actually. Mid-transform by the looks of it. StrenTurn moving towards a 5th, well I guess technically a 4th, but at the 5th base location here to the north.
Oh, the Colossus run into the Colossus, thank you. Or Colossus into the Vikings.
Thorns though. If they got a good check of the bio, we'll see if the Marauders are enough. Widowmines, there's a couple off cooldown he can always kite back into as the Zealots come in here. But he's gotta watch out for those medevacs. They're so low. He might actually kill his own medevacs. Does kill his own medevacs.
There's still just enough healing left over. I think he needs to kite a little bit more. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
He doesn't have good custom shells. Oh,
this definitely helped out a lot of these situations.
Yeah, I mean, like, great for catching units, but also great for getting away from units.
Right? Yeah. Vikings have to land, and then they landed awkwardly. So, guys, I don't think Inzane's gonna win this. That's so bad after how much damage he did with the initial like pressure. Like he was resetting the Colossus count. He was trading probably like resources lost evenly, but StrenTurn, you know, he just got a 4th base. And he's getting up to Storm. I mean, Inzane is he's making life difficult for him, you know? Like, he would have loved to have killed StrenTurn way before we got up to Storm. But with Storm, it's going to be so hard to win this game.
How did that not kill that one probe? The one probe that kills the moon of mine. Oh, jeez.
Did he ever remake those gateways? StrenTurn's kind of floating on a mini.
He's repairing them now, I guess. Trying to.
Also, it's not started 3-3, so yet again, he'll fall behind just a little bit in those upgrades. This drop is going to finish off the job, I guess. Or go for something more important than just gateways, like the forges, which have just started.
Sniping the 3-3 would be nice. I don't think he would have had time to get both, though. While this was going on, it was a bit of distraction tactics to go to the north, but this was seen by the observers, so sadly...
Well, he'll take this fight, no problem. Like, the storms are all lagging behind, but there are a ton of storms.
Well, it's like truly Marauders at this point. Yo, where's the Void Ray at? Drop went back to the main by the looks of it. He is going to go for the forges. Dark Templar.
The one-shot to the others.
Okay, so he gets armor, which is silly enough. I think it's actually a lot better than getting weapons. But,
oh no! Oh no!
Storms,
oh no!
Oh jeez!
Just blink forward. Executes so many of them.
Some of his own units now.
He killed his own observers.
Both the observers. Yeah. Oh jeez. This is where everyone wants to make the joke like Protoss. Can you get some skill, please? Like, come on, you can't just storm wherever you like willy nilly. But oh no. Well, there's not a lot of I guess the upside is there's not a lot of Widowmines anymore. Inzane was going really Widowmine heavy earlier, and I was a big fan of it. But something told him to stop, and he's got none. So not having the observers is actually not an issue whatsoever.
StrenTurn's pressing his advantage because he knows that he has so many storms, and apparently Inzane has no ghosts. So I don't mind this push at all, but it might cost him his 4th.
Okay, so there's a stalker stuck for whatever reason. Maru's gonna kill the. I don't even. All right, so he gets the upgrades, by the way. Stops out 3-3. He's going to have 3-2 of his own, but there's too many storms.
Yeah, there's barely any units, but there's a lot of storms. It's more fit a couple of zealots to help out here, man. And Inzane's going to lose. He's about to get his production camped again after the next 2 Warpins are in. The only thing he's really got going for him is this drop that is still dealing damage. Where are the charge out reinforcements? Was all of his gateways he powered? Is that a problem?
He's just focused on killing up there. And Zane, he's got 1 base mining right now. He's dropped the last couple of mules that he can, rather than trying to save the CC. He could have saved 2 CCs.
The curse was in your favor.
This is falling apart.
The curse is so in your favor.
It was, and StrenTurn's on 5 bases right now. He lost those 3-3 upgrades. Okay, sure. But that army supply, 105. How the hell do you overcome that? You don't.
You don't. You get a nuke, and then you hit it. Whichever happens.
So that nukes are garbage, and Blizzard made Ghosts terrible, but you know whatever.
No salt.
It's like the coolest, one of the cooler units we have available to us, but can't use them in this situation. All right, so StrenTurn, he had a pretty epic comeback in game 2. He's played this game 3 out really well. Unfortunate for Inzane, as it looks like he will fall out of the group, and StrenTurn will join Rets in the top 8. Top 8.
So, Zane just letting it soak in. He hates that last game, and I think he could have won this one too.
GG.
Just got overzealous.
All right, well, congratulations to Inzane.